Hello, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kibitz. It's me, Mary, and I'm here tonight with 90 Day Oy Vey, the night after the tell all fallout. Now, I want to give you guys a disclaimer before I start this video. I had a root canal today, and even though I took a nap, I still feel kind of crappy. It's not my mouth that necessarily hurts, but I felt like he was drilling into my brain. So I have a headache. It's gone away mostly now. But just a little disclaimer. I may not be my total self tonight, but I'm here because last night was that last resort part one of the tell all, and holy shit. That is all I have to say for myself. But we're gonna hop right into this in a second. And hi Deirdre, hi Chanel. Menopausal Queen, that was a great investment, if I may say so myself. I mean, hey, this show is all about the butt plugs now. Hi, Jelly Ugandan Knuckles. Hi, Natalie. Hi, Christine. Hi, Wendy. Lindsay, you're not late. I'm just getting started. You haven't missed anything. Hi Toasty, hi Shilly Shally. Yes, I hope you guys like my pajamas. This is a PJ night for me. Hi Jesse, hi Sassy Cat. Thank you everybody for joining me. Wasn't this tell all OMG? Hi Kimberly, hi Susu. Thank you for joining me. Um, if you guys didn't watch Pillow Talk, the Between the Sheets slash Pillow Talk that aired after the tell all, you really should because Robert's reactions were fucking hysterical. Hi, Maureen. I'm just getting started, so you're not late. Hi, Minnie. Um, yeah, everybody jamming their jammies with me. Light up a joint, pour yourself a drink because we're going to get into it. So, Jasmine, she is just a beautiful, glowingly pregnant woman, isn't she? But make sure you guys have your sound turned all the way up because I mean, last night she was just. Let me just share with you guys what I'm talking about. So this is Jasmine.
Go and send your butt plug pictures online more.
So there you go, Jazzy. She is she's not a bully, not at all. Everybody is bullying her. Everybody's so mean to her. But I mean, I get flack for dropping F bombs. Okay. And she is screaming about butt plugs on national TV. I just want to say hi to Nikki and Kimberly and Patty. Thank you guys for joining me. But here is Jazzy with that mouth yelling at Rob. I mean, look at her. A vision in white. So innocent, so pure. I mean, she's pregnant, guys. She's under a lot of stress. She's being bullied by everyone. But yeah, I mean, her mouth last night on the tell-all.
Period. That sell your pictures online and stuffing your ass with butt plugs. And you call whore. What the is wrong with you?
So there you go. Good old Jazzy. Okay. And even her stories today after the tell all. Bullying Gino. What else is new? So she says, good hearted, hard work, kind, handsome, hardworking, not a pervert or a corn addict, with a working eggplant, hair, and the list goes on. So she just continues to publicly humiliate Gino. But that's okay. We're supposed to be nice to her. I get it. So moving on, Jasmine is on her baby moon, apparently, with Matt, roasting like a rotisserie chicken. Okay. I mean, I love how one moment she is posting things and saying things that are horrible and disgusting. And the next minute, it's like, oh, look at me and my big belly, and I'm on my baby moon, and my hair is so beautiful, and my skin is glowing. And even though I have a sailor's mouth worse than Mary, and we all know Mary has a sailor's mouth, I am so pure and innocent and no one could attack me. Meanwhile, I'm really glad that my mother in law was not here last night watching Last Resort tell all with me because, yeah, that's all I have to say. And why is she still wearing Gino's wedding ring? Can someone answer that question for me? She is pregnant with her side boo and she's still wearing her husband's wedding ring. And am I supposed to call her a fucking whore? Okay, yeah, I got it. Okay, moving on. I mean, she was the one that was making shit all violent. I mean, she didn't like what Rob was saying to her, especially being a heavily pregnant woman. Personally, I would have flipped him off, got up, and walked away. Okay, but no, she was the one that made shit violent. She went charging at him, threw her shoe not once, but twice. At the second time, that shit hit him. So, technically that is assault. When you hit someone with something, whether it be a cell phone, a shoe, a belt, whatever the fuck you hit someone with, that is technically assault. I mean, I'm not going crazy. It's not all this weed that I smoke, right? So the pregnant one who we're supposed to be nice to and just condone her actions was the one that made it all violent. I've seen comments that Rob should have never got up, that, Rob was in the wrong for getting up. Excuse me, she went charging across the stage past Sean, who just sat there and didn't do anything. They didn't try to get up and block her, okay? Took off her shoe and chucked it at Rob. And he was supposed to remain sitting. No, he got up in a self defense stance, okay? That's all I'm saying. Yes, Tina, I agree. Okay. And I'm going to get into all this in a second because why am I receiving so much flack when it comes to Jasmine as opposed to when I was ripping Angela a new asshole from sea to shining sea? I was getting, go, Mary, go, Mary, go, Mary. And now when it comes to Jasmine, I'm supposed to back off because she's pregnant. I don't get it. Both of them should have been fucking fired a long time ago. But anyway, like I said, I was really happy that my mother in law was not here last night watching this with me because Jasmine is screaming about Rob's ugly butthole and all these other things that should be screamed about on national TV at 8 o'clock on a Monday night. Just saying. I mean, this is not even a show that airs after 10 o'clock. The kids will be in bed. No, this is on at 8 o'clock on a Monday night, and we have a pregnant woman screaming about buttholes and butt plugs. Good going, TLC. Just saying. So, Jasmine says her whole pregnancy she's been bullied, harassed, and threatened almost every day. I love my baby so much. This tiny human that I'm carrying has given me all the strength and resilience I've needed. God is good at times. Okay. And then she goes to post the clip from the Sarah Fraser um, podcast about a month ago when Josh and Brandon appeared on her show. And Josh said that he wanted to beat the shit out of Matt Fagino. Well, Jasmine posted that clip. Of course, she pulls out the clips at the perfect time and says a person commits the offense of threatening to kill or do bodily injury if they intentionally and maliciously make a threat against someone else's life or safety with the intent to cause fear or harm. Punishment. It is a second-degree felony punishable by up to 15 years in prison and a fine of $10,000. So now we have crossed over to love after lockup. Okay. She is saying that Josh threatening, saying that he wants to beat the shit out of Matt Fagino. Okay. He didn't say that he was actually going to find Matt and beat him down. He said he wanted to beat the shit out of Matt for Gino. Suddenly, we're in love after lockup land, and Josh has committed a felony. And I guess he should sign up on those write a prisoner pen pal sites, according to fucking Jasmine. So she goes on to say, the man who bullied and threatened me for months is the same who was behind Sophie's back was selling services like $500 per BJ to men. The very same who does prostitution for a living and has the audacity to declare he cares about Gino when in reality he got paid to act like this by his sugar daddy, Gino. Okay, slightly off the subject, but still on the subject. Who asked for Ed and Kalani? Not me. Not Wendy's front yard. I'm sure not most of you guys, because when they appeared on my TV last night for Pillow Talk, I said, oh my God, what the fuck is he doing there? Yeah, I feel you. So, anyway, we have Jasmine still going on, okay, because she has to portray herself as a victim. And then she posted a DM apparently that Gina wrote to someone and said, but sit back and get your popcorn ready because she turns into the villain from this week's episode onward. And I can't wait for the tell all when my boys and I tear Jasmine and Matt to shreds. Ha ha. Have a beautiful day. And she says, I'm glad you enjoyed it and premeditated all the verbal and emotional attack towards me when you know the real story behind anything. What, that you cheated on him months before? Oh, sorry. It is so nice to see you play the victim and when you know what you have done to me for years. Then she reposted Jamie, you remember Jamie and Chris? Yeah. Well, she reposted Jamie reposting Miss Debbie's story. Okay. So now they're saying that Miss Debbie, because she posted this, and this is the one and only time that I agree with her. Okay. And now, of course, Jamie is jumping on the bandwagon to defend Jasmine, and they're saying that this is, racist against immigrants and all that and all those other things. No, we just want Jasmine gone. Okay. Just saying. And it's really sad that it's come that I actually agree with Miss Debbie for once. And this is probably going to be the one and only time I do agree with her. So now, Jasmine is too busy shaming Rob for some butt plug pictures that were back in 2017. Well, Jazzy, weren't you discussing butt plugs and preparing your ass not too long ago on 90 Day? Didn't your girlfriends back in Panama give you a whole set of butt plugs? Oh yeah, you were really comfortable back then, joking about it, talking about it, saying that Gino could prepare her ass for anal sex and all this other stuff that is being presented on a show that airs on a Sunday night at 8 o'clock. But anyway, so fast forward to last night's tell all, and she's shaming Rob for butt plugs. Yeah, you see how things come full circle? Well, anyway, Rob took to the gram to defend himself. Okay, and I'm going to read this for you guys. So basically, he says, post me bullying and threatening you. This slimy trash bag is doing all of this because she couldn't hide her master plan to finesse Gino. I call her out, and her house of cards came tumbling down. Now I'm public enemy number one. Yes. This woman lied to my wife to drive a bigger wedge between us and thought I was going to sit back and let her manipulate everyone at that resort. I'm trying to leave this alone, but what the fuck is all this BS? Don't hit me up asking about this because I'm just blocking the nonsense. These people will say anything and twist anything to slander and deflect. Speak it, Rob. Speak it. Coming from an active OF creator who has abandoned her kids and is pregnant from another from physically cheating on her husband. It is astounding the effort she's putting into this Rob smear campaign. Like, are you dumb, lady? Post where Sophie claims I cheated while we were married. Post me threatening you. Post my unborn baby with my side chick. Post something that isn't your hysterical, weak, hypocritical attempt at pissing me off. Because if I say fuck it, it's fuck it. So then he goes on to say this woman had everything to say about everyone else's relationship and actively caused drama between the couples, but has the audacity to tell me that I have should put all this energy into my own relationship, blah blah blah. I saw a friend in need. At least I stepped in for the right reasons, unlike this snake of a witch. He goes on to say he was pissed the fuck off. I'm not homosexual and definitely never have been any kind of prostitute. It's very unfortunate the levels people will go just to deflect from their own discretions. Then finally, he says every single dumbass thing she posts is going right into the folder, so y'all keep supporting her. Yeah, so Rob is pissed off. I don't fucking blame him. And I just want to say that Jasmine will take down, slander, smear, defame anyone that is not agreeing or fitting in with her narrative. Okay. So now this is Rob's turn. A couple of months ago, it was her former PR agent, Kimberly Noel's turn, when there was some rumors floating around on the streets about DV between Matt and Jazzy. She immediately threw her former PR person slash life coach under the bus. So if you haven't checked out my interview with Kimberly Noel, please do. I wasn't able to ask her as many questions as I would have liked. She is bound by an NDA and she has some ongoing legal issues going on. So please check out my interview. I believe it is very enlightening and it will just show you the true person that Jazzy is, in my opinion. Of course, this is all my opinion. So, but you know, once she has the baby, she will be announcing it only on her page. Okay, so don't believe any of those clickbait sites. And for someone that has no appetite, as she claims, she eats a lot. Just saying. So she has her great support system, including cousin-in-law Michelle, Matt, her immigration attorney, Kelsey, and Ari. Okay, that is her great support system that helped her get through the tell all. And Matt was her bodyguard when her and Julia went to go pick up their dresses. The glam team bent over backwards for her. Oh, how nice. But speaking of Julia, our thoughts go out to Julia and Brandon. Their dog Simba had a stroke. Okay, so my thoughts are going out to them big time. Julia was a trip last night on that tell all. She decided to hop up on the table to give Betty and Ron a better look at the perspective that Brandon had when she was dancing on the bar. I was like, girl, what are you doing? Get down off that fucking table. Happy birthday to Georgie. Darcy and Georgie will be on next week's tell all. Um, Darcy and Georgie always have to be everywhere. I mean, just saying, if Stacy's there, Darcy got to be there. And if Darcy got to be there, Georgie got to be there. So let's see what happens next week. Ari, she looks fucking gorgeous in this dress. And Benny in his getup when he pulled up to the tell all. Would you buy a cameo from Natalie with her looking like this? I mean, that expression on her face, the look in her eyes. I personally would not buy a cameo. I mean, I don't know. She looks scary in that. Just my opinion. And every time I see Natalie, on Last Resort and her arguing with Josh and being dramatic and shit like that. All I could think of is Mike sitting up there in the woods, okay, in the wood with his girlfriend Sarah, and him sitting there going, "She's not my problem. She's not my problem. She's not my problem." Yeah, that's what I picture. So this was all of us after last night's tell all. Sophie's face, yeah, definitely that was me. And Claire bragging that her daughter sent her flowers for UK Mother's Day. I'm glad that the two of them have mended their relationship, and I hope it's healthier than it was last year on American Mother's Day, where she sent some really nasty messages that wound up getting her arrested. So I'm glad to see that they have moved forward almost a year later, and I hope that their relationship keeps getting stronger. Yorkville Charlie, there's two parts to the tell all. So next week it's going to be the final part. So moving on. Do you guys remember Devon and Nick from season 10, I think it was, of 90 Day? Well, Devon is selling her wedding dress, which I find that very interesting. Okay. Is she selling the wedding dress because her and Nick are not are not together anymore? Um, Is she selling the wedding dress because she just needs extra cash? She doesn't have room for it. She just wants to get rid of it. I just found it very interesting that Devin, who hasn't posted in the longest time, the first time she posts in a while is to sell her wedding dress. So I will let you know, okay, what's going on with that. So, moving on, Amani decides to pay it forward to her fans. Amani, one third of the throuple couple, this morning posted a $100 Starbucks thingy, and like the first 10 people or whatever that put it into their Starbucks app will get a coffee on her. So this is her way of paying it forward to her followers and to her fans, which I think is kind of cool. Okay, a 90-day cast member giving something to us instead of asking for stuff from us. Buy my cameo, subscribe to my OnlyFans, buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that. She's actually buying her followers coffee. Hey, that's kind of cool. So she had an answer and question sesh, which I'm not going to read all of them because my jaw's starting to hurt. But basically, her and Sophie, they no longer have any beef. She talked to Sophie directly. They worked out their issues like adults, apparently. And she has no problem admitting fault and learning from it. That's surprising to me. I mean, I actually thought this was going to be a cat fight to last for at least a couple of seasons. Um, so they've had a girlfriend before, but a girlfriend, no fun, yes, whatever that means. Then someone asked, how did Matt land two pretty girls? And she says, a big eggplant. Ha 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 ha. So she starts sharing these throwback pictures of herself. Um, she wants to be transparent on how her looks and her body have evolved throughout the years with all of her surgeries and fillers and etc. So here is a childhood picture of her, a picture of her of when she was a young woman in college, a picture of her when she was a teenager. These are different versions of her face. Okay. And if you ask if she regrets her nose job, the long the short answer is she regrets all type of surgery, but the most emotional roller coaster surgery by far is her nose job. People on social media hide their nose until it's final. They say it's 1 year for swelling to go down because cartilage takes the longest to heal. No one talks about this enough, and I wish I knew. So basically, she had this whole fantasy in her head that once the bandages come off, her nose was going to be boom perfect. So she is basically trying to be transparent to her followers about, her surgery, um, transformation, and the emotions that came along with it. Now, if you ask her, she wants to have another child. Matt may want to have, but she says hell to the motherfucking no. So, moving on. Um, Someone asked Matt, this is Matt's question and answer session now, if they get along with anybody else on the show. And he says, we don't know the other couples. Someone asked, whose idea was it to bring another person into a relationship? Annie is the reason why we went steady, although Amani was the first to bring commitment to the table. They have no plans on bringing anybody else to their throuple. Okay. And his favorite part of the show is Amani and Annie. Surprise, surprise. And any advice for a couple looking for a third and maybe a fourth? You must understand love without conditions. Okay. So now someone asked, if you had to go back in time, what would you do different? It can be anything. So he says, I would never risk the person I have become or the family I have made. To see not where the path I'm on ends would be a tragedy. And yes, I agree. Amani and Annie could pass for sisters. So now, right before I went live, I was scrolling through the gram, and guess what? Matt has an OnlyFans coming soon, which I bet you means Amani is going to have an OnlyFans, and Annie won't be too far along. Mark my words. You heard it here first, okay? This is going to start a chain reaction of OnlyFans in the throuple couple. Hmm. So now, do you guys remember Billy? D for Hearts Billy, Angela's friend from Canada who needed a kidney transplant. Well, unfortunately, he passed away this morning. Rest in peace, Billy. I hope you are flying high with the angels. Um, he's no longer in pain, from what I understand. I follow him on social media. He's been in the hospital for quite a while, and he passed peacefully this morning. So rest in peace to Billy. Speaking of Angela, she was in LA over this past weekend, and she crashed Josh, Jamal, and Rob's preview modeling event that they were having. Okay. She basically crashed the event, took pictures with them, posted it to her story, and no one else but Rob, who quickly reposted and then deleted the picture. I bet you he thought about it twice. I even DM'd him. I said, Rob, please, am I seeing things? And he's like, well, she showed up. I was trying to be nice. So here we go. Angela's crashing appearances in LA. As you guys may or may not know, her annulment slash divorce with Michael is moving along in the court system. I covered this briefly in my last video, but I will be dedicating myself to a whole video about what's going on with Michael and Angela's annulment slash divorce. Michael's attorney submitted 128 questions slash requests to Angela, and Angela's attorney just recently replied to all of Michael's attorney's requests. And for someone who claims that she is broke beyond broke and she doesn't get paid for any personal appearances, she seems to travel around a lot and crash these events. Just saying, just my opinion. So, speaking of cast members hooking up together, Sarper and Shekinah went to go visit Lauren and Alex. Okay, and this was actually a really nice family function, lots and lots of food. Okay, so check this out. We have Shekinah, Sarper's parents, Shekinah's daughter, and Lauren and Alex's whole family. There's no sound in this video, by the way, guys. I took out all the background noise because I was posting it on Instagram. Sarper's parents, Shekinah's daughter, with one of Lauren's boys, and good old Sarper. So there you go. They had a nice time, all, hanging out. And yeah, so that's one set of cast members that got together. And then, like I reported last week, 90 Day Fiance current season cast members were all in New York. Okay, so the tell all has already been filmed. So we have Sarper and Shekinah, we have Amani and Matt, we have Aaliyah in Times Square, Juan and Jessica on the subway, and Joan and Greg driving towards the city. Okay, so there we go. Everybody was in New York filming the tell all already. And speaking of Jessica, here's her adorable boys. And if their dad, I mean, the older one's dad, lives up the block, I mean, why weren't they there for the first night? I don't get it. So, anyway, Greg is asking if we like chewy or crisp bacon. Crisp bacon all the way, dude. Crisp bacon all the way. And Mina, speaking of cooking, Mina likes cooking her ass off. Okay. Every time I look on her story, she is cooking something that looks really fucking good. Now, Aaliyah appeared on IG Live with both Faith and Nikki for Transgender Visibility Day. And Faith has been doing a collaboration with Rose, as in Ed's former Rose. So I'm glad to see Rose is doing really well. She's looking really good. So yeah. As for Lauren, he was on IG Live at the same time as Aaliyah and Faith and Nikki were, but he was basically talking to himself as usual, because when he goes live on IG, there's only about one or two people in the room. So yeah. Question and answer sesh from Magda. She worked at a dance school. Okay, she's still doing volleyball. She would never ever do 90 Day again. She is totally done with that shit. And why is she done with 90 Day? Because her and Joe are totally broken up and she doesn't want to talk about it. She could still come visit the States though. She has tons of friends here, but just not Joey. So moving on to Adnan and Tiger Silly. Tiger Silly seems to be slowly disappearing under layers and layers of clothes. Just saying. Adnan enjoying the great American pastime of target shooting. He goes out shooting a lot, and he's with his Team Adnan shirt. Anyway, um, so I just want to share some positivity, okay? Because there is so much negativity going on in the 90 Day franchise. It could like bring you down, okay? So here is David and Annie's adorable baby. I mean, look at that face, especially that milk drunk face. How could you not just be like, oh, and just have good vibes? I mean, with Jasmine's gutter mouth, we need some good vibes and positivity going around. And look at this adorable baby. And speaking of babies, Pedro did not have a baby. Okay, so please do not believe those clickbait sites. This is not his baby. This is his cousin's baby. Okay, so technically this is his second cousin, but he calls the baby his nephew. So please don't listen to those clickbait sites. Gino had a baby. I'm sorry. Pedro had a baby. No, Pedro didn't have a baby. Gino didn't have a baby. Rob didn't have a baby. The only one that's having a baby is Jazzy. So moving on, I reported in my last video that Anna's son Gino was leaving to the Navy. Well, she shared more pictures of him right before he left, and Marcel dumped a bucket of water on the car as it was leaving. As Anna was leaving with her sons to go drop Gino off at the airport, Marcel dumped a bucket of water on the car, and he says that this is a good luck tradition in Turkey for those who are leaving to go into the military. Hey, he would know best. Okay, so I find it so nice that this couple is still together. Yes, I'm sure that they're boring in real life, but this is what we want, is boring like this. Good luck to Gino joining the Navy. And Anna, I know your heart is probably ripped out of your chest right now that one of your babies have left the nest. But hey, this is the way life goes, and he's going to be a sailor the next time you see him. How cool is that? So, Toasty, you never heard of that tradition? I never heard of it either, but hey, if Marcel thinks that it brings good luck, who will we tell him? Who are we to tell him that it doesn't? Do you guys remember Avery? Avery that was with Omar. Avery, whose mom almost got knocked out by Angela so many tell-alls ago. She is so beautiful. And 90 Day cast members like her, Bilal and Shida were celebrating the end of Ramadan. And I just wanted to share some positive stuff for once. I mean, guys, come on. We have happy birthday wishes to Rishi's wife, Maria. And then we have Nikki Exotica, who calls herself Barbie. And she is another one. Which I'm gonna get into that in another video. Because like I said, I feel kind of crappy tonight. But yeah, Nikki Exotica, two peas in a pod, her and Jazzy. That's all I'm going to say. And we have Eve, who hasn't been around in a while. Oh, yes, Just Joe. Rishi got married a while. It's been about a year now or so. He married this woman, Maria, totally not like Jen. I mean, from what I understand, she is a professional. She has, her own company and the complete opposite of Jen, from what I understand. We have Ingrid, we have Usman, and we have Yolanda. Okay, and I think Yolanda's looking great. Veronica and her boyfriend visited New York, and they make a very handsome couple, if I may say so myself. And then we have Yara with her mini me Mila with their Sunday brunch tradition, which I think is adorable. They do tea time and biscuits and all that stuff. And this little girl's gonna remember, feeling like a princess when she was little because her mom would take her out to tea time. And I think, that is just adorable. And I just want to share more positivity. And speaking of positivity, happy birthday to Cooper, Kenny's firstborn grandson, the best April Fool's Day present ever, according to Kenny, not me. So, before I let you guys go, I just want to let you know, don't worry, I am marked safe for now from Jasmine's unhinged behavior. Because let me tell you, I think someone needs to go check on her because she has been sounding really, really unhinged lately. And honestly, her posts have been really bipolar. One minute she's screaming about Rob's butthole, and the next minute she's a pure vision in white. Yeah, okay. Thank you so much, guys, for watching me. I will be back probably tomorrow night or the next night. I want to do a whole last resort recap. I'm trying to get my special guest to join me, so let me work on that. And like I said, I'm going to be doing a whole video dedicated to the Michael Angela annulment divorce drama and just basically letting you guys know what's going on. So thanks again for watching me. Please subscribe if you don't already. Please double check that you are subscribed. Hit that like button, share my video with a friend or 10, and please consider joining my membership. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful night. Bye.